What is up everybody, it's RobinGaming here with the first of two videos talking to you about the two biggest press conferences that will be going down at Gamescom next week on Tuesday. So in this first part I want to be talking about the Microsoft press conference. Now arguably, at least in my eyes, this is going to be the most interesting press conference out of them all. Not necessarily because I'm like expecting to see a lot of great games or new announcements, but more like overall to see how Microsoft will react to everything that has been playing for the past 2 months in terms of the Xbox One. So we all pretty much know what happened, of course, but let's quickly look back at exactly what has been going down. So of course Microsoft unveiled the Xbox One on May 21st, and they kind of introduced it more as a media and entertainment device, and they didn't focus on the games. Now we all know that, for the 3 weeks to come after that, there's been a lot of negativity surrounding the Xbox One, basically because of this. We also got to hear about, stuff like DRM and used games, that the Xbox would always have to be connected, every 24 hours, and that you basically wouldn't be able to buy used games and play them on your Xbox One. But Microsoft, of course, was like, please just wait for E3 and we will totally make up for it. And partially they did, of course. I mean, we saw some great games and they completely focused on the gaming aspect of the Xbox One. I would personally say that the games we've seen from Microsoft so far, are slightly better than those of what we've seen from PlayStation. Not necessarily in terms of quality, but more in terms of quantity. We've just seen more games for the Xbox One so far, more exclusives. But there were two things that they still did wrong, and Sony fully attacked them on these weak spots, of course. We had the price, $499 for the Xbox One, while the PlayStation 4 is going to cost $399. That's $100 difference, and that's not something to take lightly. And of course the DRM and used games, that is just something, it's such a big deal to gamers, to hardcore gamers who just, who feel like, it feels like something is being taken away from you. Gamers don't want that. We don't like having stuff on the current platforms, on the Xbox 360 and on the PlayStation 3, that is then being taken away from us with the next generation platforms. That's simply what gamers really don't like. And of course, as I said, Sony fully attacked them on these spots. Everyone still remembers what they did at E3, where they basically just said to the public that you could still buy used games and play them on your PS4, and that it wouldn't have to be connected. Now, of course, this again caused a lot of negativity surrounding the Xbox One, while I would say that overall they probably had the better E3 press conference because of the games that they showed. Still, for the past few months we've seen Microsoft really retreat from everything they said. They fired Don Matrick, or at least fired, that's what they don't say, but that's what probably happened. Used games can be bought and played on the Xbox One. You don't have to be connected, you can play it in a sort of like offline mode, and you can just play single player games. Then there's self-publishing for indie developers, which at first didn't seem possible, but a few weeks ago they did confirm that will be allowed. And then finally there's Connect, which at first seemed to always have to be on if you wanted to play on your Xbox One, but they now also confirmed only recently, like only a few days ago, that will not be necessary. So what can we expect to see at Gamescom? Now, first of all, I'm just really interested in the reaction they will have to it. There have been rumors that at Gamescom Microsoft will almost fully reintroduce the Xbox One. I wouldn't really know what that would mean, what is that gonna look like? I have no idea, but if they do that, then I'm definitely very interested in seeing that. But one thing we can for sure expect is of course the release date. Now at E3 Microsoft confirmed that the Xbox One will be coming out this November, so the exact date we will probably see at Gamescom. But where they at first announced that it would be available in 21 markets around the world, they now only reduced it to 13 countries. That includes that they actually scrapped the Netherlands, which is the country I'm living in, so I'm already seeing a lot of disappointed people here, which is a real shame, but that is probably a result of all these reverses, that they had to make some final changes for the system. Now in the end, of course, there's the games, and I really hope they will be focusing on the games again. I'm actually pretty sure of that, because we all know that if they don't do that, that will only cause more negativity. But my big question with this, this press conference is going to be, how much of the games has Microsoft actually held back? How much did they already show at E3? Have they almost fully shown all the games they've got available for the coming year, or have they actually kept back quite a few games that they can still show off at Gamescom that we haven't seen yet? How many new announcements are we going to see? Sure, I'm hoping for example, more gameplay from Quantum Break, which I'm very excited about, but I also want to see new stuff. I also want to see new games, and I'm actually quite sure that Sony has kept a big part of their games for Gamescom or for later events. So I definitely think that Microsoft will have to come with a few new announcements, so I really hope we'll be seeing those. Now then, that was pretty much it for the preview of the Microsoft press conference. Please let me know, what do you want to see from them? Do you want to see new gameplay of the games they've already announced, like Quantum Break or Titanfall, you know, these great games that we haven't really seen too much from yet? Or do you want to see new announcements like me? And you know, which are some of the games that they haven't announced yet you really want to see? So please leave me a comment down below and tell me about what you're expecting or hoping to see. And then I thank you all for watching, and I hope to see you again in the next part, which will be all about the Sony press conference.